So I would kind of love to know, I know that a lot of people have asked you how you got your role in Bandish Bandits, etc., but I would love to know what your favorite part of playing Tamanna is. Like, what is the one thing that really drew you to her character and to your role?
Specifically in season two, I remember reading the script of Bandish Bandits, and when I read the script, Malaika, I was so excited as an actor because
Yeah.
she's so layered in season two. There is this entire transformation. Of course, she's decided to go to music school, and that's obviously
Hmm.
stemming from some sort of maturity, right? When you say, okay, you know what, I'm going to go back to my basics because I want to get this right. I want to do this right. So that's lovely, but at the same time, she's not suddenly become this perfect human being. She's very flawed. She's not black or
Yeah.
white. There's layers to her. She's three-dimensional. She's relatable. Each of us can imagine being in a situation like this, being in a complex relationship with somebody where you love somebody, but you don't think it's correct for you two to be together. So all of these aspects, I think, got me very excited to play her, as a character. And it wasn't just all of these things. It was also the fact that she was going to music school and learning all these new things. And because of that, by virtue of being an actor and being able to play that character, I got to learn all those things. I got to
Yeah.
have a brush with going to music school, what it feels like. I got to interact with musicians. I got to pick up, how to learn the basics of a new instrument.
Yeah.
Things like I took keyboard lessons because there are scenes where, Tawanna plays the keys. And each of the characters in season two have sort of really played the instruments. If there's a note being played on an instrument, they're playing the correct note, for that song.
Yeah.
Just the workshop process was so beautiful. And I just really loved how layered and complex Tamanna is in season two. Sorry about that.
No,
And
that's okay.
yeah, it was really something that as an actor, I was very excited to play all these emotions and that entire graph of hers, and all those, different emotions that she has with different characters. Like her graph would say Radhe's character, her graph would say Nandini's character, which is played by Divya Man, which is so beautiful again, a mentor and
Yeah.
mentee relationship. So I can't pinpoint one particular thing. It's just that entire package of playing her in season two was very exciting for me.
And I kind of have a couple of questions that stem off of that because one of the things that you bring up is her relationships, right? And for viewers and just for the season as a whole, going from season one into season two, her relationship with, Ritwik's character is very complicated, I would say, right?
Yeah.
So coming back into the skin of the Manna, how did you kind of bring that into your chemistry with Ritvik, especially kind of working together after a little bit of a break?
Yeah, yeah. There used to be this joke I used to crack with Anand that playing Tamanna for me in season two is like connecting with an old friend
Yeah.
because this was post COVID, so we'd obviously
Hmm.
filmed season one during before COVID. Then we had
Yeah.
our release, and of course, COVID was happening, which was such a tough time for all of us. And uh, then I was given this script, and I realized, okay, this is going to be a lot of fun, but it's also going to be a lot of hard work. And we
Mm.
started workshopping for season two, and I was a little, "Okay, how is this going to happen? I've never done a season two. I've never played a character like after a break like this, the same character. But it really just took that little bit of a push that I got from Anand and Amrita, makers of the show, where
Yeah.
I just reconnected with her because I think I realized that there'll always be, I'm so sorry,
No,
because
it's okay.
Tamanna as a character is so dear to me, there'll always be a little bit of Tamanna inside of me, somewhere deep down where I
Yeah.
have to just go to that part of my heart and bring her out. And the writing was so beautiful, Malaika, for season two, that it was I wouldn't say easy, but it helped a lot, having everything on paper that okay, this is what she's feeling, and all the discussions I had with Anand about okay, why is she feeling this? Why is she getting a panic attack when she's on stage with Radhe, during the award scene. So all of those things were very exciting for me to kind of be able to connect, and I really lived. my life vicariously through Tamanna in season two, because
Yeah.
she's going through all these ups and downs, and I had like a outlet, I had like a form of expression, Shreya did while playing Tamanna. And when it comes to Ritvik, I really feel again, I we crack a lot of jokes amongst ourselves because we genuinely love each other, all of us, Anand, Amrit, Ritvik, and myself especially. And I cracked a joke that, the first time when I met Ritvik and I was told he's playing Radhe, I told him, I said to myself, lucky him. But it was only at the end of shooting season one, I realized the lucky one is me, because
Oh,
genuinely the fact that Ritvik is my Radhe is the reason I can be the Tamanna that I am. Because there's so much support, love, and respect between the two of us as actors, as two human beings.
yeah.
Started our journeys together. We were thrown in this, massive ocean with these amazing stalwarts. So we really held each other's hands. We could be vulnerable with each other. We used to motivate each other. And we had a scene with Say Nasir sir, who again is, the love of our lives. We both
Mm.
absolutely adore him, and he's so amazing. But it can be a little like, okay, I have to do a scene
Yeah.
with him, and I'd be motivating him, he'd be motivating me. So even in season two, luckily we're obviously friends, even, post the show as well. So for us to kind of meet again together, again, we're so excited because even his character has such a beautiful trajectory. My character has such a beautiful arc. So we were just excited that we were getting to play these characters again. We were getting to be on a set with Anand again. And
Yeah.
we had such a blast. And I think that's what translates as chemistry on screen. It's the fact that we
Mm.
care for each other. We really love each other, and we were just having fun, while playing the character.
And you talked about there was a gap between season one and season two, right? Where you're saying you still continued, your friendship and everything, but I want to turn it more to any sort of, fun fan encounter that you've had because I was scrolling through the trailer for season one and for season two on YouTube the other night in preparation for our talk and our interview.
Oh,
And one of the
sweet.
things I noticed was there's so many comments from fans being like, we love to kind of see this new fresh pair on screen for the season one trailer. So was there ever, between season one and season two, like a memorable fan encounter that you have, where you felt like, oh my gosh, I've made it onto, people's home screens with, with OTT and the platforms that are available now?
I don't know why I'm blushing while you're asking me this. um, Let me just put it this way: there was a lot of love that came our way,
Okay.
both of us after season one, and we were so grateful for it. We were in the middle of a lockdown here in India,
Yeah.
and like we all were in the world. So we didn't really kind of interact with people immediately. It's only when things kind of
Mm,
opened up and we started stepping
yeah.
out. And I remember the first time somebody kept yelling, Tamanna, 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 and I didn't know they were talking to me. And then they walked up to me and they were like, Tamanna, can I have a photo with you? And I was so flattered as an actor that,
Oh,
somebody was calling me by my character name. And, people waited, Malaika, for 4 years, like every single day
yeah.
on my Instagram, no matter what I was posting or if I was out anywhere, before somebody says, hi, Shreya, they'd be like, when is season two coming? So for
Oh,
the
wow.
fact, so many people who loved season one waited patiently for season two, or even kept asking without even knowing whether it's going to happen or not, because we didn't announce it up until very recently that
Mm,
there is going to be a season two. So the fact that they just waited, and kept asking
yeah.
because they wanted a season two, they wanted to see more of us, that in itself was the biggest joy as an actor, to have an audience, to feel seen, to feel heard is is why we do what we do. So at the end of the
Yeah.
day, that was amazing. And yeah, it was very new for me to get recognized as such. And it was lovely. I don't think there's any specific one that I can name. Each of them, just they make my heart smile, till date.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
exciting.
I love to kind of ask anyone that I speak with, a fan question, especially with web series, because I feel like those really stick with audiences' hearts. I kind of want, my last question to switch towards your upcoming work, which is the Mehta Boys, and it's with Boman Irani and Avinash Tiwari. And please share what you can. But what does your character kind of, look like, and what difference does that character have with maybe Tamanna or any other previous characters you've played, specifically kind of going into that film?
Meta Boys, again, a project that is very, very, very dear to me.
Mm.
It is written, directed by, acted by none other than Mr. Momin Irani, who I think is one of my most favorite people on this planet. I feel very lucky that I got an opportunity to work with him, not just in the fashion of an actor, but I got to be directed by him because he's an
Yeah.
institution of acting in himself. He's one of the legends of our country. The way he approaches his characters, they're so memorable, and he always does something which is magical. You can't pinpoint what it is, but you remember every character he's played.
Yeah.
So I was really looking forward to workshopping with him, and that was a blast. And also the fact that he's written the film and it's co-written by Alexander, who's one of the writers. He's an Oscar winner for Birdman, Revenant,
Yeah.
and he's currently working on his next Hollywood project. Just to see how they've kind of written these beautiful, empowered female characters. So along with Bhavansa and Avinash, there's also Pooja Swaroop in the film who plays his daughter. And my character's name is Zara. And she is very different from Tamanna. But again, she's just a modern girl who's empowered and has got her heart in the right place. She loves this boy and she forms a beautiful relationship even say with Vamansa's character. And the fact is that the movie at its core is about uh, parent-children relationships, which is so
Yeah.
relatable. I think not initially I thought it was only in India, but the more I travel and the more I interact with people, I've realized it is a commonality throughout the world.
Mm.
So I really hope people watch the film because it's a very beautiful telling about a particular family. And I really enjoyed playing Zara, and I was shooting for Neta Boys and Bandish Bandits simultaneously. So it used to be
Oh, wow.
yeah, it used to be quite fun to be able to play both of these characters. And I mean, I don't want to say too much about her right now because
Yeah.
maybe it's a reason for us to speak again once you watch the film, hopefully,
Yes.
whenever it is. So maybe more on that then. But yeah, they are
Mhm.
two very different characters. But again, with Baman sir to work with him, I think one of my biggest take back was how to make a one-dimensional character, which is just written on a piece of character, and how to make it three-dimensional. What are the
Mm.
ways, one can kind of do that? And that's exactly what he does so brilliantly. So, of course, so much to learn, but that was the attempt. And hopefully, when you watch it, you'll be able to do more of that.
Yeah, and that's interesting that you were saying that you shot for both of them simultaneously because I've always wondered this as a viewer, like how difficult is it for you to get in and out of the skin of a character? And I know some people have said it's very easy for certain characters and it's very difficult for others. And so, kind of wrapping it up for you, playing both characters simultaneously, was there a moment that maybe you brought a little bit of Tamanna into Zara's character or a little bit of Zara into Tamanna's character? And if so, how did you kind of navigate that and get out of
I really hope to God I haven't done that.
it?
Because then I haven't done my job. So, personally, would like to believe now that I've seen Bandish Bandits entirely, and I have also watched Meta Boys because we went for two very amazing festivals. So, I would
Yes.
personally like to believe that they are two separate people. But yes, I mean, Shreya is playing both these characters. So subliminally, sometimes you do end up giving a few of your attributes or personality traits to a
Mm,
character, especially when they're characters that could be in and around the person that you are. You know, it's not some character that's completely alien to, say, my life and just the world that I live in.
yeah.
Uh, but having said that, I think all the credit for being able to manage both of the projects goes to my directors, which is Baman Irani and Anand Tiwari. It was just them because they both workshopped heavily. They really believe in prep. So I would never feel unsure or uncertain about that when I stepped onto the sets of, say, Bandish Bandits or Meta Boys. Of course, there was so much to create, and they were both very exciting parts. But that clarity was there because we thoroughly workshopped. And then of course you believe on your instincts. So it was not like I was jumping from the Bandish Bandits set to go to the Meta Boys set. I finished a
Yeah.
sked of Bandish Bandits and then I started with the sked of Meta Boys. So I feel I'm very grateful to both of them to, kind of, they knew that I was shooting for something and, simultaneously
Mm.
shooting for both. So they were very motivating because, the beauty is that they both are also actors. Anand has been an actor in the past, and Pawan
Yeah.
understands, the concept of maybe doing more than one project at one time. So he would actually, ask me, how is the shoot of Bandish Bandits going on? And Anand would ask me, how is it going with Meta Boys? So it was such a
Yeah.
lovely space for me to be in. And I truly have to give all the credit to them for kind of, uh, you know, making me believe that I can do this. They empowered me with that. So yeah.
That's awesome to hear. And I love that. I love that you said that you feel like your work as an actor is to really be able to simultaneously pivot between both of them, even if they might be very similar to who you are in certain, circumstances or instances. So I'm very excited to watch them at the Boys. I do know that you went to a few film festivals
Yes.
because we were able to kind of see that they were in the US. There was the Chicago Film Festival that I believe
Yes.
you guys went to. So that was amazing to see kind of more South Asian films being on the big screen at international film festivals. So
Yeah.
as a girl who lived in the US my whole life, it's wonderful to see that
Hey, I'm so happy to
kind of
hear that.
come up on the big screen.
So
And I really
lovely. Thank
appreciate you
you.
taking the time to speak with me today. And yeah, I have watched Bandish Bandits. I've been prepped. I'm ready for season 3. So whenever that happens, I would love to know. But yeah, thank you so much for speaking
No,
with me. Thank you
thank
to your
you for
team
taking
as
your
well.
time and thank you for watching the show. And genuinely, this was so much fun, and I can't wait for you to watch Meta Boys either. So hopefully, we'll be speaking very, very soon.